Galnet News Digest, 14th of March 3305. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, goals on hold as community gets serviced. Congress questions religious freedoms. Galaxy celebrates 300 years of GalWeb. Devilish Dawn IDA frustration continues. Goals on hold as community gets serviced. The outfitting of Explorer's anchorage and the provision of an accompanying megaship at the galactic core brings to an end a series of initiatives coordinated by the Pilots Federation for the benefit of its members. The series started with the campaign to build a space station in Maya, but the Thargoids can't have been ready for us because the deployment of Unity Station was switched at the last minute to the system now called New Yembo, and Obsidian Orbital wasn't deployed for another year. Other initiatives have seen the infamous Battle of Lu, exploration data gathered for the Federation and for the Children of Raxxla as part of a search for the mystery of the Formidine Rift, killing Thargoids and taking their body parts to the Thargoid-worshipping Far-God cultists, and a slightly lukewarm battle between insurrectionists Nova Imperium and the Old Guard of the Empire. At other times, such as the wedding between Jordan Rochester and Princess Aisling Duval, the seemingly inevitable appeal to ferry wedding cake to Semies, never materialised after the wedding was unexpectedly called off. Community goals have become less popular recently, and it's in the light of this waning interest that the Pilots Federation has announced that it's taking a break from providing such services to its members, while it deploys refactoring techniques to make community events into what it describes as development-supported events, which it claims will be engaging. In the meantime, commanders are encouraged, just for these few weeks, to blaze their own trails instead. Congress questions religious freedoms. The Federal Congress is reported to be reconsidering its stance on the freedom of religious expression, after the religious cult, the Children of Tothos, forcibly took over a starport in the Chunt star system. Cult leader Barnabas Cole is reported to be planning to summon his deity through the medium of large-scale human sacrifice, and to have in his possession a 300 megaton nuclear weapon for that purpose. He and his followers have taken over the control deck of Coriolis Station Archimbald Terminal. The Federal Intelligence Agency is standing by, but is unable to launch an assault on the station because of the risk to the millions of potential human sacrifices inside. This sacrifice gambit seems a risky strategy for the cult. Barnabas Cole is going to feel pretty silly if he sacrifices an entire Coriolis station and everyone in it, and Tothos the god fails to turn up to the after party. Meanwhile, Congress is holding a vote on whether to hold a meaningful vote to start discussions on a bid to amend the First Amendment Act to read, "Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the exercise thereof, unless they're a bunch of bloody idiots planning to massacre millions by blowing up a starport." Galaxy celebrates 300 years of GalWeb. The system of interlinked documents that is GalWeb this week celebrated its 300th anniversary. GalWeb uses a network of networks called Intergal, which allows GalWeb articles to be stored on distributed clusters of servers anywhere in the galaxy and to be accessed from personal terminals anywhere else. This is analogous to the old Internet, invented by Tim Berners-Lee, which allowed the creation of the World Wide Web, which was invented by Vincent Cerf. Galnet works using GalWeb, as does the Codex. The advantage of the storage and transmission technologies of Intergal and GalWeb are that the data can traverse 100,000 light-years from one end of the Milky Way galaxy to the other in less than a second. And it is totally immune from misinformation and abuse of any kind, apart from the widespread dissemination of cute pictures of cats, the manipulation of elections, and financial fraud on a galactic scale. Devilish Dawn IDA frustration continues. Well-known head of communication and piracy, Don Antonacci, continues to claim a huge percentage of the contribution Operation IDA makes to repair Thargoid-damaged stations, according to initiative members. At peak times, up to 80% of deliveries are stolen by the evil Camorra boss before they can be used to repair the stations. This illegal activity over a period now stretching to years has made the Dom far wealthier than any Void Opal miner and has dramatically slowed down efforts to repair stations. The QA investigation agency, led by QA Mitch, QA Jack and QA Tom, claims to be actively investigating the mafia-like stranglehold on the repair effort, although it's been noted by several observers that the door to the QA investigation agency is obscured behind a thick layer of undisturbed cobwebs, and the responses received to the reports from IDA members sound very much as though they've been generated by the Platitude 3000 auto-response bot. Operation IDA continues despite the lack of effective policing against the predatory actions of Pirate Lord Antonacci. The humanitarian effort will not be defeated. And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News, we read the news so you don't have to.